Hi travelers, Tara here, Hidden Lotus Tarot. Today is January 20th, 2017, day of the inauguration. I'm coming to you today with a general reading for the sign of Libra, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Please keep in mind that this is a general reading and the messages will not resonate with everyone, so check back to your Moon and Rising sign. There may be a message there for you. Also keep in mind that I did post the December 2016 monthly readings. They are in the December playlist, so you might want to go back and take a look at those. If you think you might be interested in purchasing a reading from me, you can click on the little banner up in the right hand that will appear in the video that will take you directly over to the website. I do ask, however, that before you actually book and make payment, that you read the section called Important Information on Booking, because that'll explain a lot of things to you. We are still under the Mercury direct shadow phase. Mercury went direct on the 9th of January, but it will not be up to full speed until the 28th. On this same day, we will have the new moon in Aquarius. We had a full moon in Cancer on January 12th. And lest we not forget that we had Uranus go direct on December 29th. Now, I have already done some meditation on the cards for the sign of Libra, Sun, Moon, and Rising, and done some pre-shuffling. And the first two cards that fell out, oh wait, the biggest transit of all is the Jupiter in Libra. So probably for a lot of you, there are a lot of partnership situations that are changing. Libra is ruled by Venus. Venus is not only about love, but she's about income, wealth, beauty, the women in your life. She does rule marriages, committed relationships, business partnerships fall under the 7th house of Libra. Jupiter comes in to bring you growth, expansion. So there are usually many, many opportunities that come through for you in different aspects of your life. But at the same time, in terms of, let's say, committed romantic relationships and marriages, this is also the time when there may be multiple relationships going on at the same time, some good and some bad. That being said, the first two cards that presented themselves as I was pre-shuffling is the Seven of Swords and the Tower card. The Seven of Swords can typically be, is most traditionally interpreted as lies, deception, cheating. It could be spying. It could be stalking. If this is so, it's usually done through perhaps electronic means, like over the internet, Facebook, Twitter, Tumblr, things of that, people stalking you and being real buttheads through the electronic medium. There's an old 13th interpretation of this card that speaks to a home move. Now, I don't necessarily see that in this imagery, but I'm going to put that out there anyway. I always like to give different interpretations because, everybody's got different things going on. It is a swords card, so this is about thoughts, beliefs, perceptions, ideas, and concepts, along with communications. And then we have the major arcana of the Tower. This is representative of Uranus. The Tower is a card of sudden chaos or shock. It can be simply all of a sudden that your whole life has been turned upside down, or suddenly you're going to be required to change your perspective on things. All of your beliefs will come into question. Now, we do know that Uranus went direct on the 29th of December. It is a big outer planet, so it takes time for it to get back up to speed. But typically, this will be something that occurs out of the blue. It is not always something negative, so please don't. I know the imagery is quite frightening, but this card can also be a sudden realization, that aha moment, something that's been bugging you or puzzling you and you haven't been able to quite figure it out, and then suddenly, I don't know about you, but sometimes ideas will come to me in the middle of the night, like at 4 a.m. I see somebody on the street and I'm like, God, I can't remember their name. And then, I think about it and then I go to sleep. And then at 4 a.m. I sit bolt right up in the bed. Oh, their name is Debbie, one of those kind of moments. So even though it don't mean nothing at 4 a.m., right? So we're going to go ahead and get started with this reading. Again, please keep in mind that it is a general reading and the messages will not resonate with everyone. In order to take a look at your specific situation to give you any insight does require a personal reading. And how that works is I meditate on your birth date and the birth date of those people involved. And then we lay the spread and we see what the cards have to say. So again, this is general for Libra, Sun, Moon, and Rising. We're going to put down the rest of the cards. I would like to welcome my new subscribers, and for all of you diehards who've stuck with me the past couple of years, I want to thank you so much for staying with me into 2017. I've got some new stuff coming for you guys. I really do. So, been working on it. Here we go. 3 of Coins follows the 7 of Swords, the Tower, and the 3 of Pentacles. The 7 of Wands. So that is 2 sevens. The Knight of Wands. The Ace of Cups. The 8 of Coins. The Queen of Coins. And then the Lovers. Underneath the deck, I have the 5 of Swords. And this is Venus in Aquarius. And I think we just had a transit of Venus in Aquarius, or it might be going on. I'm not exactly sure. It's going to depend, you know, what sign it's going to transit through according to your natal chart. Anyway, we have 2 sevens here. We have let me show you the rest of the cards. We started with the 7 of Swords. Then we have the Tower, the 3 of Pentacles, the 7 of Wands, the Knight of Wands, the Ace of Cups, the 8 of Coins, the Queen of Coins, and the Lovers. Now, for those of you who don't know much about the tarot, it is broken into 2 groups. We have what are known as the major arcana cards. So these are going to be the cards with names. They're going to be like the Tower, the Lovers, okay? These represent spiritual lessons and life lessons. Big things, okay? And then we have what are known as the pip cards. And the pip cards are our numbered cards, like the 7, the 3. It also includes the aces, and it also includes the court cards. So this would be your knights, kings, queens, and pages. Right off the bat, we have 2 sevens. And 2 sevens in the tarot, in numerology tarot, typically speak to false friends, okay? And I would say, in looking at the spread, for some of you, and this is the timing. I'm gonna give you some kind of timing here. You know, and this is not an exact science, so please don't be upset if I get it wrong or it didn't occur or it hasn't occurred. We have the moon in Aquarius, the new moon in Aquarius, and this is the time frame that this card represents. So I think that either some of you have already gone through this situation and you're going to see a change come about around or after the new moon, and or there will be a situation that presents itself around the new moon for others of you, okay? Right in the center, I have the Knight of Wands. And the Knights, let me explain the suits for those of you who are not familiar with tarot. The swords, as I say, represent thoughts, beliefs, ideas, perceptions, and communications. The coins represent not only finances, but they also represent the material plane. In other words, the doing of the work or the doing of something. The wands come in. The wands are a fire energy, and they represent, typically they represent work endeavors, but the energy of the wands is about your desire, your fighting spirit, your passion, your anger, those things. And then we have the cups, and the cups are representative of emotions, love, anger, fear, hate, all right? Depending on how the cards lay, they will mean different things. So it's not always this, that, or the other. Right in the center, I have the Knight of Wands. And the Knight of Wands is typically going to be a fire sign individual. This may be someone who is a Aries, Sagittarius, or Leo, but they also have some type of airy quality to them, like a Gemini. So this could be somebody who's quite flighty, very passionate, comes in like a tempest or a tornado, kind of discombobulates stuff, okay? And you can't, and it's kind of a scattered energy. Typically, when I see the Knights are representative of two things for me. They either represent an individual or it represents a situation. And what I'm looking at, what the cards are telling me is that for some of you, there is someone who has returned from your past, okay? This is, for some of you, someone that you have already had an affair with or an outside relationship with, okay? For others of you, this may be a new person who comes in to the relationship that you are highly, highly attracted to, okay? Who is offering you a new opportunity in terms of building a new relationship. For some of you, you have just discovered that there may be a partner or a mate who has cheated on you in whatever manner that means, because it's not always about sex. There's emotional cheating. This could be someone texting someone. You find out they've been holding a conversation or, texting back and forth with someone, or on Facebook. This could be discovering that they maybe have an internet sexual addiction. I do see that. And for some of you, this is quite sudden. I think what the Three of Coins is saying to me is that this is the start of it. So it's like you just found out, but it hasn't been going on very long. That's what the Three of Coins is, the actual three people in a situation, or two people coming to a third party, okay? Or this third party coming in between two people. We see that this is, they're trying to build a solid foundation. So I really feel that for some of you, this is about discovering that a third party has come in to your relationship, okay? It has just started to be built, this relationship. It's just now really starting to gel. For others of you, where we have this person coming back, this is just starting to build, okay? Now, false friends, and it warns of false friends. I feel for some of you, if you have not discovered this new secret relationship or flirting or whatever the situation is, I feel you're going to find out that it may be somebody that you know, false friends. It will also, for some of you, perhaps be somebody that you may work with. Now, if this is a work situation in which let's say there's a new employee that has come in, this is also could be representative of the Knight of Wands. You're going to find out that this person has a bit of a shady character, and might be presenting themselves in a manner as though, yes, we can work together. I've been doing this a long time. You see, it's an opportunity, and that's what the aces are. Aces are always opportunities. They don't mean it's a full-fledged or something. It depends on how you handle the situation. But I feel that the person is going to come in or has come in the sense that perhaps you are about to extend trust, or you have extended trust to them. But what you don't know is that the person is working on some type of thing to undermine you, okay? A lot of times you can see this card come up as jealousy. I do feel that for some of you, perhaps, well, this could play out in any way. We have this queen here, earth sign queen, and she would represent someone who is an Virgo, Capricorn, or Taurus. If she does not represent these, then she's going to be someone who handles accounts. She's in retail sales. She may have children. She may be like down to earth, salt of the earth kind of a person, very balanced. She might be quiet. She might be shy, but sometimes those are the ones you got to watch out for. As we can see, I have the Lovers here. And what I'm looking at on the diagonal, Seven of Wands, the Knight of Wands, and the Lovers. And this is definitely about a hidden choice that someone has to make. And I do feel that it is someone from the past in one respect. Across this row, this could be someone in this, someone new coming in. This is how it's looking to me. It is looking as though someone is in a relationship and they find out that someone's been deceiving them, okay, and lying to them and hiding things from them. They have in effect just started perhaps a relationship with someone else. That is a struggle. You are trying to, if you are in that situation, you are trying to stand your ground and defend, let's say, your turf. This card can also be about a threat. It is about perseverance. But at the same time that this is happening, somebody new shows up for you. And I do feel that this is someone from the past. And this is typically what happens on a Mercury cycle. Old lovers come back. People you haven't heard from months, years, show up out of the blue. Okay? So it presents an opportunity. And there's a choice. What do I do? Do I fight for this old relationship, or do I chuck that relationship to the side and go with this person, this one that has returned from the past? It's kind of like, do two wrongs make a right? Now, I think also in one respect, for some of you, it may be that you have been working on a project, let's say in your career. Maybe you've been working with a group of people and you've been putting a lot of work. This is the card of mastery. This is called the apprentice card. And as you can see, that person is literally making money. But again, it is about the practicality or the doing of it. So this could be that, you have put in the time and the effort and you have been working really, really hard when suddenly somebody new comes into the picture. This may be a new team member, okay? And we can see that perhaps this person has been maybe even been put in charge of the project. All of a sudden, all of the work that you've done gets shifted over to someone else, okay? Maybe even this person might be trying to take credit for the work that you've already done. Well, there's a choice associated with that, okay? And sometimes this card, which is the Five of Swords, this card says to pick your battles wisely. Sometimes, and it's not always fair, but sometimes we literally have to take a step back from fighting with people. This card indicates, again, 3 people in a situation and somebody walking away. Typically, when this card shows up in a personal reading, the person that I am reading for, the querent, this represents you. That represents you taking your sword. You don't whip their butts, and you are taking your crap and you are moving on, okay? But at the same time, this card can be, is it really worth fighting for? All right? And I think this is the choice. I think that in a sense, it's kind of saying that this can go either way. And I guess it would depend upon, what do you want out of the situation? And that's what Venus is all about. Venus asks you to look, and she rules Libra. So Venus asks you to look. It is about your self-esteem, your self-worth, the value that you place upon yourself. It is about the possessions that you own, the money that you make for yourself. It is about what will you sell your soul for, or what you will not sell your soul for. Who and what is most precious to you. That's what Venus is all about, okay? And typically across a Venus, a Jupiter and Libra cycle, and it only happens every 12 years. So, if you got to make some major moves and make some major decisions in order to get yourself to the next level, I think that some of you may be presented really with the choice quite out of the blue. Really, literally out of the blue. And of course, that's going to create some havoc with people, because this is a card of miscommunications. It is a card of defeat. It is the card of feeling attacked. But again, sometimes you have to consider the source. Remember, these are swords, and they talk about thoughts, beliefs, perceptions, ideas, and communication. So if this is somebody who's telling tales outside of school, making up stuff on you, you can either choose to respond to that and, waste your time on that, or you can choose to just ignore that and continue working what you're doing. Now, if it's something that really is maligning you and maybe harming you in your work endeavors or in terms of your relationship, then you have to decide, well, who am I going to argue with? Okay. And I always say this, people like, oh, well, you know, she cheated on me or he cheated on me. Well, the truth, or that person came in and they've been wrecking my home. The truth of the matter is it takes two people to tango, and that third party can't do nothing that the person that you're in relationship with will allow them to do. So instead of fighting with the third person who has come in, you need to go back to the source and find out what the hell is going on from that individual. That has always been my advice. I see people on Facebook fighting, two chicks fighting over a dude. He loves that shit. He loves that shit. Why are you fighting with the chick? You need to be fighting with the dude. Why? Because if you're in a relationship with him, you're supposed to be able to trust him. You're also supposed to be able to trust him to tell you if he's no longer feeling it. Look, I ain't feeling it no more. Okay? So it's got absolutely nothing to do with the third person coming in. It's really all about you. So anytime you have a situation where you are being challenged, or you feel thwarted, or you feel as though somebody's blocking your road to happiness in whatever way, that says something about you. And you have to take a look at yourself and figure out, what is it that I need to address, or what is it that I need to change in order to get where it is I want to go and what it is I want to do. That's my advice. Now, you can take it or leave it. I do feel that for some of you, this is the return of a individual that your mate has previously been involved in. For others of you, I think this might play out as a work situation. I still say, however, that there's going to be, and maybe some of this hasn't even come about yet, but there's somebody else coming back. There's somebody else coming back, and this is going to present you with a choice. And this is a choice really in any aspect of your life. But just know. And the sevens represent an internal conflict. Okay? The fives represent outside influences coming in. This can be delays, miscommunications, arguments, third parties coming in. But the sevens are about, how does that make you feel? What are you going to do about it? What does that say about me? And a lot of times what will happen is when people come in and they lie and they steal to us, people that we have put our trust in, and they steal our trust from us, or our faith and our belief, then we need to go back and take a look at how we're extending our trust. Okay? It doesn't necessarily mean that you fail or that there's something wrong with you. It just means that you need to go back over that situation and kind of look at perhaps where you may have missed something in the picture. So you use it as a learning example, not as a failure, but as a learning. It's an experience. That's all it is. And then you try to learn from experience and hope to not make the same mistake moving forward. Well, I learned my lesson about that crap. I ain't going to be doing that no more. If this means you got to do a background check on the next time this is including males too. You got to do a background check on your next mate. Then I would say do a background check if that's what it's going to take. And this is definitely, there's going to be some kind of split for sure. Now, whether this is you leaving your job, or your partner that you're with leaves you, or whether you decide to leave your partner, there's a definite split coming. I do feel that. But as I say all the time, whatever I tell you I see in the cards, it's not set in stone. And the reason why that is because everybody has free will. If you think this relationship is worth fighting over, then you figure out what it is you need to do. And if you just tired and sick and tired of being sick and tired, then you need to figure out what to do. Okay? That's what it boils down to. I want to take a look, and I keep picking up with this. This is the past, the present, the future, the past, the present, the future, and the interplay. And I am telling you, I think this is two people, one person already cheating in one respect or the other, and someone else perhaps considering. It could be even like a revenge motive. I don't know. I was going to say something ugly, but I won't. Um, but in one sense, to me, it's like this is something that has occurred before and you've been trying to work on it. Okay, the card of mastery. It's happened before and you have tried to stick it out and you've been conflicted about that, and you've been perhaps trying to work on regaining and rebuilding that trust. But there's definitely a snake in the mist, or one that's going to be coming up. Now, just because she's a queen does not mean this is a female. This could also be either for same-sex or heterosexual, whomever's going to take the role of the female in the same-sex relationship. Okay? I want to take a look at the 2 sevens. Yes, see? I have the Fidelta, the La Mica, the relationship of trust. This is the loyalty card. The La Mica, the relationship of trust. And the Morte. So this tells me that for some of you, you know, it's a done deal, so to speak. Some of you may not be aware of that yet. This is what this card says, that it's a hidden thing. And as I say, it may come up around the full moon. It's going to come up out of the blue. You may have already been picking up signs, or maybe thought something and you wasn't sure. The reason why I say that this card is about opening intuition. Okay, so some of you may have already been picking up that something's been going on behind the scenes and it's been in the works. Okay, over here, I think this says that, you know, maybe you've even gone to counseling of some sort, you know, and you've been struggling with the choice of what it is you want to do. How do you want to go forward? I mean, it's very complicated. You see, the house Libra is not only about known as the house of marriage and the house of partnership. It can also be the house of open enemies. And sometimes this could be about public fights. Now y'all fighting in the open. Everybody knows your business now. It's out there for everybody to see. The only reason it's known as the house of marriage is because there's legalities associated with it. It's a name change. It's a merger. Like if I go into business partnership with that's a merger. There's a legality. It's now like we are married to each other. So if we decide we don't want to be business partners anymore, we've got to figure out how we're going to divide up the assets, who gets what, who's contributed more. So then if it becomes very, very contentious, then we fight openly. We go around town cussing each other out, letting people know, yeah, he stabbed me in the back, this, that, and the other. So, you know, it's only because of the legalities of it. Libra is Venus in Libra, even though it's not a very deep energy. It's a very, very superficial energy. In other words, it's how things appear to people on the outside. So you know that couple that lives down the street. They've got the 2.5 kids. He looked like a god. She looked like a goddess. They got a beautiful home, nice cars. You know, they always go on vacations and they always look good when they come out of the house. But what you may not know behind the scenes is that maybe the guy's beating her ass, or maybe she's a serial cheater. Maybe she's got drug addictions or alcohol addictions. Maybe the kids are psychopaths. There are things that you never know behind closed doors, you know? And so that's what Libra is. It is a projection of how things look. What image do you project towards the outside, and how does the outside world view you? It doesn't tell you what the whole story is. Let's take a look at this. I want to take a look at these 3 cards, the 7 of Swords, the Tower, and the 3 of Pentacles, to see what they are telling us. Success achieved after a long time. That's the meaning of this card. The Donna de Servizio. In other words, this is like a verb. She's an action card. She speaks to errands, domestic housework. She's positive. It's a help. So this is, to me, speaking to someone perhaps feeling or thinking that this relationship, whatever it may be, or partnership, because it could be a business partnership as well, that, you know, finally, I've finally gotten to the place where I want to be, you know, and it's been great being with this person. It's been a great help. They've helped me in many ways. But now we have the Il Nemico. And the Il Nemico is the enemy, the rival, As an energy, it speaks to anger, resentment, and concealed hate. And I do feel that in both respects, this is about a third party coming in to a relationship, and things are about to become very contentious. It also speaks to me of perhaps someone in a business sense who is about to, the relationship or partnership is going to become very, very contentious. You know, and Libra is the scales. It rules justice. So this is about fairness, equality, balance, and harmony. What does it take to achieve those things in my personal relationships, in my romantic relationships, in my business partnerships, in my friendships, in my familial relationships? So these things are coming up for review. Now, Jupiter will be in Libra until October 2018. So you have a whole year to figure this out. Let's take a look at the Queen of Pentacles and the Lovers together. Well, what this says to me, it's telling me two things. The three cards are the Dinari. Okay, so we can say on the surface, this really is about money. Okay, property, things of that nature. Remember, it's the material plane. Jewelry, clothes, property, cars, actual accounts, finances, stocks, bonds, those things. Remember, we're talking about, you know, the seventh house of partnerships. Then we have the Militare. This is a relationship with law enforcement, okay? But this can also speak to, if you think about what military troops do, sometimes they do black ops. So this could be about things going on behind the scenes that you don't know about. This card not only can be representative of money, but also what your idea of security means, okay? And we see that this soldier is moving into a new, this speaks to a meeting. This card is known as the reunion. But this card also represents a new job interview. So as I was saying, for some of you, this is going to be playing out in your romantic life. For others of you, this is really all about work. The bottom line is this, is that love and money are two sides of the same coin. Most people don't view it that way. But the reason why I say that is because it's based upon a value, okay? For some people, the more money they make, the more important they feel, or the more valuable they feel. For other people, for the type of relationship that they have, makes them feel more valuable. But what happens is that you have to be able to equate, you know, if I have less money, does that mean I should be treated shitty? If I'm in a shitty ass relationship, what does that say about my value? What value do I place on myself? So it's really all about learning to understand what your value is, what your worth is, and to stand firm and ask people to metaphorically and sometimes literally pay you your value, what you are worth. Okay? So now we're going to pull a, you know, and if that means leaving some people behind because they're not willing to pay your price, then so be it. You know, because you will eventually find someone who will. And you may have to take losses. But I tell you what you can't pay for. You can't pay for peace of mind. You can't buy that crap. I don't care how much money you got. And you don't get no promissory notes on it, okay? So, for those of you that did not, your situation was not addressed in this spread, I want you to formulate a question in your mind. You know, there are lots of changes coming up. I think for the sign of Libra, Sun, Moon, and Rising, there are some very unexpected, sudden things coming up in many ways for you. You know, and all you can do, You want to try to maintain the balance. Remember, Libra is represented by the glyph of the scales, and it also speaks to justice. So, you know, justice is blind in the sense that liars and cheaters, okay, will be caught out, and responsible people will be fairly compensated. So which side of that sword do you want to fall on? All right, so here we go. One card to answer a question that was not addressed in this. Forgiveness. Okay, forgiveness. Now, let me give you my take of forgiveness. You are, of course, with your own free will, everybody has their take of forgiveness. I have a lot of Scorpio in my chart. A lot. And a lot of times for me, I don't forgive people. I just forget them like they died or they never existed. Seriously, that's the way it works for me. But what I have learned the most is that you cannot forgive anybody else if you don't forgive yourself first. And that goes back to what I was saying earlier. You know, don't feel stupid if you get caught out in a situation. You didn't see somebody, you know, being shady with you. Don't, oh, I feel so stupid. I can't believe, you know, don't dwell upon that, because basically it's a lesson. It's the experience. That's why I tell you, you should go back over and look at, how was that person able to do that? What was I not looking at? What does it say about myself in the sense that I didn't, obviously there was something about me that allowed this kind of person to come in or allowed this situation to occur, because no matter what type of relationship that you're in, you are always the common denominator. If this is a successful relationship, partnership, then you are a common denominator. If it's crappy and people are treating you like crap, guess what? You are a common denominator. So you should take a look at yourself and then learn to forgive yourself for whatever perceived faults or slights that you have. We're only human. We can only do so much. The thing is we never see ourselves the way other people see us, okay? And you do have people out there who will just come in a predatory manner and take advantage of you. So you need to take a look at that and forgive yourself first. Now, once you can learn to forgive yourself, then you can extend your forgiveness to other people. You know, the old Christian, turn the other cheek and forgive people. Well, sometimes, you know, but that's just my take on it. So I hope this helped you, Libra, Sun, Moon, and Rising. And until next time, Namaste.